And we welcome you into the newest edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. I am the aforementioned Ironhead. This here is the aforementioned Goon.
The new guy.
Back in the hot seat here after a few weeks hiatus. Some expected, some unexpected, but welcome back, dear Goon.
Good to be back, buddy. Good to be back.
And we are gearing up for football season. We'll talk some college football playoff discussion for sure today. Major League Baseball All-Star Game, of course, set for tonight. Paul Skeens will be the starter for the National League, and a little bit of a Pirates flavor to the All-Star Game with the home run derby last night. O'Neal Cruz losing in the semifinals, but providing some pretty spectacular blasts along the way and some good memories for the youngsters in particular and baseball fans in general with the home run derby last night. And the Mad Turtle had a game of his own that ended at about 9:30. So we got home to see the semifinals, and the dear Mad Turtle fell asleep during which we're happy about because he has a big day of camp and then rock climbing tonight. So that worked out pretty well. But did get to see the semifinals. Missed the 500 and 34 or 13-foot blast that Cruz had earlier.
So nonchalantly, he's just so nonchalantly ripping out four or 500 foot dingers. Beautiful swing, everything about it. But it didn't have the stars last night. It was going into it. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to be all that and this and that. And it turned out to be great because, the rally guy who won, I mean, I can't imagine he has 38 home runs already at the All-Star break.
As a catcher.
And I'm just watching it. And before it even started, I just sat there and said, you know what? With what I went through last week with my father-in-law passing, it was just like one of those things. It was like, I absolutely, every year, I cheer for the guy whose dad's pitching to him.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, think how many times that guy, that his father has thrown him batting practice in his lifetime.
No, it is. It's one of the.
I didn't catch on to it until like midway through that his little brother was the catcher.
Yeah.
And he started calling him the whisperer, and like, hey, you got that, you got that swing, relax, breathe, The little brother, 15-year-old, is back there just telling you, it's the only voice you hear. That's pretty cool, man. And
it's very cool.
He's throwing you some cheese coming up there, and you're rocking. So yeah, but a Cruz was. I was shocked last night that a Pirate had never made it past the first round. Is what they said in the opening. I did not know that.
There haven't been a whole lot of Pirates that have competed, and there haven't been a whole lot of Pirates at the All-Star game since they started the home run derby.
So I was just sitting around last night and I was talking to some friends of mine, and we're like, you know what? The next year is in Philadelphia, by the way, because it's the 250-year anniversary of the country, and Philadelphia is part of the July 4th celebration. It's going to be the All-Star game. It's going to be wrapped around in there. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's really, really cool because I know that I said, wouldn't it be great to have a couple like old school, at least mention who has won the home run derby in the last 20. I mean, they didn't do it our whole lives. You know what I mean? I mean, McGuire, Sosa era. The far as I go back, and I saw it today. I saw Ryan Sandberg won the home run derby in 1990, and there was only 6 total home runs hit in Wrigley. Was the wind like completely blowing in? I didn't get into it.
Was it even? I didn't realize it was even a thing back then. I don't remember the home run derby until I thought it was like late 90s.
There was only 6 home runs total, and I was like, wait, what? 6 home runs? I mean, I was sitting there last night, and the opening round, there's 40 pitches. I mean, these guys, what kind of shape are these cats in? Just, you're swinging from your heels.
Oh, yeah.
And you're putting everything into it. And, you got 40 pitches in 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Holy crap, man. A lot of work went into that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's, I think it is marketed more for young people, and they do seem to enjoy it. They were, at the again, he was playing in a game, but they were apparently keeping track of what was happening, because as soon as we got to the car, he's like, well, Neil Cruz hit one that was set. I'm like, how do you even know that? He's like, well, so somebody was at least monitoring that and passing along the information. And again, we were excited. I think we stayed up for about 10 minutes on the kiddos' end, but he was excited to see it. And, I was thinking about it too, that and I do think it's changed. I mean, he was excited about it, but it's not like it wasn't something that he's been building up for. And like the All-Star game tonight, he has he does want to get home and see it, but he has a rock climbing class on Tuesdays. And so again, we'll watch it. It's not, and I'm okay with this, by the way. I'm not saying I want his life to be centered around this. We'll go home and watch it, and we'll listen to it on the way back. But so there were a lot of great All-Star game memories, Pete Rose crashing into home plate. There's a lot of memorable moments, but for me, as a Pirates fan,
Cobra?
Yes, the two throws in the 1979 All-Star game were like that. Like, if you ask me, the memory from my childhood of the All-Star game, that combined with, and I think it was that year's game actually, that we went to. It was a friend's house. The friend was on our little league team, and the dad was one of the assistant coaches, and they had a pool in their backyard, an in-ground pool, which we thought was, just high living. And my memory, and it may be a little foggy here, but I think our entire little league team went to his house. We had hot dogs and hamburgers, and it was a huge ordeal because, again, back then, this is the only time you got to see in the American League and National League players. It felt like, next to the World Series, the biggest thing in baseball. And it just was a huge deal, and we would all look forward to it. And, we would talk about the matchups we could hardly wait to see and this and that. And we were all glued. We swam around in the pool, ate hamburgers and hot dogs, and then, boom, we were locked in to the game, and then we talk about it during the commercial breaks and all of that. And I do think, and so I was 10 years old in 1979. The Mad Turtle is 10 years old this year. It just celebrated his 10th birthday this past weekend. So I was thinking about that. It's like, man, it's just wild that that memory is still with me pretty vividly. And now, the Mad Turtle is that age.
And I'm with you. We have the same conversation every year. It's like, you and I, it was like, that was a can't miss television night.
For sure.
When we were kids growing up. Now it's like, no one even gives a crap because they're like, everybody's on a pitch clock. They're not pitch clock, but they have one inning in, and then they're pulling them, and everybody's playing.
But also back then, like we knew of like Gary Carter of the Expos, or you knew of these guys, but you didn't get to see them. The Pirates weren't on television very often. None of these other teams. I mean, we got the Yankees locally here, and we got the Braves. But nobody cared about the Braves in those days, so the Yankees was like it. Yeah. And then you'd see, again, games here and there, listen to the Pirates on the radio, but it was a lot of, man, this is an opportunity to see all of these stars together, including some that you just don't otherwise see unless you go down to Pittsburgh and actually check out a game in person. Well, now, all of these players have been seen, but if your kid is a baseball fan and wants to see it, I mean, he can see them against all of these other guys at some point during the season and over the course of the year. So one thing is you're inundated. I mean, you have a choice every night of 3 or 4 baseball games, and depending on the packages you have, more than that, perhaps. And so, part of it is there's just not. You said it was like appointment television back then. Well, yeah, but it was you only had 3 or 4 stations to choose from. And it's like, well, yeah, of course, we're baseball fans. We're going to choose baseball.
So
but it was a
Pirates weren't
bigger
on TV
deal
every game, huh?
in that regard because you just didn't have an opportunity to see these guys very often, and in some cases, really at all. You certainly were aware of them. And there was a lot more back then identity of the players with the teams. You didn't have anywhere near the movement with the certainly with the star players, but just in general. And so I think all of those things contribute to it's not as nearly as big of a deal now as it once was. That said, still a big deal, still cool, and I think for kids in particular, it is still something they look forward to and talk about and all of that. And there will be some good, intriguing matchups tonight, and I think it'll be a fun opportunity for players and fans alike to see some of these matchups and to just get that midsummer break that the All-Star game provides.
It's weird. I mean, the Pirates. I mean, we grew up watching the Phillies and listened to. We could watch the Phillies until our bedtime was 9 o'clock as a young kid. And then it was the radio in the room. And but it was great because you had Harry Callis doing both, so that was awesome. But take case in point of what you're saying. I never saw Roger Clemens pitch. Against the Phillies.
Yeah,
Phillies weren't. It was early '80s were the World Series, so mid '80s and this and that. And he's out there. I would love to see Roger Clemens pitch. I would love to see Wade Boggs hit, and the New York Yankee guys and stuff like that. So that was when you got a chance to see them. And now it's you got every game, and the Yankees are in Pittsburgh one time a year. The Boston's in Pittsburgh one time a year. So you're right. There is only those certain times that you could see those guys play, and that was a great matchup watching Mike Schmidt go against Roger Clemens, and Clemens was the starting pitcher. And I mean, I don't even know if it even happened, but in the mid '80s, I mean, you had the World Series. That's the only time you saw the American League teams play. So, and it's pretty cool. I love the All-Star game, and even before we were kids, they used to play one pre and then postseason All-Star game. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like DiMaggio and all those guys.
Yeah.
And it says 29-time All-Star, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How long did you play, man? And then, they had two All-Star games a year. And it meant something. I mean, you can't hide from the fact what Pete Rose did to, was it Ray Foss?
Yeah.
When running him over, and it was one of those things. It was like, that's what the game meant to them back in the day. A game was a game. It wasn't just like, watching the NBA or the NFL Pro Bowl. And
there was genuine
pride.
National League and American League pride. Like the leagues, and I just don't think, again, for a wide variety of reasons, not the least of which is, half of the players that are playing on the American League roster have played in the National League, have been on National League rosters previously and vice versa. So part of it, back then, again, most of the players spent all of their careers or a good chunk of their careers with one or two teams, and more often than not it was certainly within the same league. And so I do think it was like, well, our league is better, and we'll go show that and prove it on a regular basis. And so I think that was part of it. Bunch of different things that have changed, and so but man, you look at the attendance and watching the kids scramble after the balls last night still means a lot, I think, and that's good to see. I'm encouraged by that, and I'll be curious to see what the ratings are for the All-Star game tonight. Again, you've got two of the top pitchers and young rising stars in Major League Baseball getting the start. And again, it's a fun game. It'll be competitive as far as it goes. Not the same fire that was there certainly back in the late 70s and throughout the 1980s.
Games, Pro Bowl and NBA All-Star games are all like that. Even the NHL. Yeah. I mean, the NHL, they're trying all these different things to try to make it happen because you only get some. I don't know. again, I think baseball was much more competitive back in the day also, much like basketball and like the pro ball, and I don't think that's ever been competitive. But baseball always was. There was that pride, and you and I growing up, and that was you're an American League guy. You're a pitcher. Get in. You got a bat now. And now no one bat. No pitchers bat.
Yeah.
It was always fun watching Roman El Presidente from the Expos, take a swing, or Roger Clemens taking a swing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the All-Star games, those guys are out by that, so they would never have hit. But it was one of those things. It was always like that was the pride of the National League to me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still say that's where a lot of my angst comes against New York City and like Chicago and LA. You have these two teams. You have one of each team. You get to pick and choose. I don't like that. You got to pick, man. You got to pick and choose who you want.
Yeah.
You can't have two teams. No. Goon rule. Nope.
I like it.
That's it.
I'm good with that. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, I do want to we'll turn our attention to the college football playoffs. I'm not understanding the Big Ten's resistance here, but we'll discuss that a little bit and get into the what we would like to see from a college football playoff perspective moving forward as we continue.
Again at 3:00 today too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead and.
We got Mike Marty coming in here at 3:00 talking about just catching up with the Goon and Ironhead back in the day, and then he's released his tequila, his whiteout tequila. So I hope you bought your drinking shoes, Ironhead. Got
to get ready for the whiteout game in style, ladies and gentlemen. This will help you do it. So
Mike will be here at 3.
Mike Monty will join us coming up in the second hour of today's big show from Quaker Steak and Lube. And again, we're coming right back after this on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
No one likes making trips to the gas station. Well, Lion Country Kia can help. If you're tired of going to the gas station all the time, Lion Country Kia can help with the 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid. Save now with 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months. And get $500 Kia Finance bonus cash. There's 14 available that get 38 MPG combined. Say goodbye to all those pump visits. 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrids start at just $32,285. And be sure to check out the full Kia lineup too. And their selection of certified pre-owned Kias. Remember, every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ease that pain at the pump with a 38 MPG combined 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid from Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drivable Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
The State College Spikes open up the second half of the MLB Draft League season with a trio of games from Wednesday, July 16th through Friday the 18th. The West Virginia Black Bears are the opposition, and all three games start at 6:35 p.m. Enjoy Glizzy and Wine Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, followed by fireworks presented by Penn State Health after Star Wars Night at the Ballpark Friday, July 18th. For tickets, call 814-272-1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio. Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America. 98.7. The Fox State College. The Goon and Ironhead.
Back here on a Tuesday afternoon, it is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here at Quaker Steak and Lube as we get ready for the All-Star game tonight in Major League Baseball, and of course, starting to gear up for college football and the highly anticipated 2025 season, both for Penn State and just for college football in general. I think a lot of interesting storylines, a lot of fun things to watch for in the upcoming season. SEC Media Days occurring this week. Big Ten Media Days will be next week. Guna, if you had back over the winter said one of these two, the Big Ten or the SEC, is going to back off of the four conference schools automatically into the playoffs, I would have said unquestionably, no doubt about it, 100%, the Big Ten would be the one that would
push it for
would back off of that, and the SEC would be the one that would be pushing. No, we've got to get the four. Well, it's exactly the opposite. According to Greg Sankey, that they're good with the.
Are they just trying not to play a ninth conference game? What they're trying to avoid?
I don't know. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with the playoff format, though. It's a bizarre thing, and I guess I'm not understanding why the Big Ten is resistant to just letting the best teams much more often than not. Right. And yeah, I get things can change and ebb and flow. I just don't think you're going to see. It seems like it's going to be more cemented now that the SEC and the Big Ten schools are going to be among the top competitors annually, because those are the schools with the most money, with the most resources, and in the NIL era and paying players. Those are the two conferences clearly best positioned to compete at the highest level. So at the end of the day, I guess I'm not sure that it much matters whether you have it automatically qualified or it's just at large. I think much more often than not, both conferences are going to get 4 teams in. Again, you may have a year if it's not automatically granted to them, where, all right, one of them has only 3, but I think it's also likely where you will have the occasional year where one of them will have 5 in there.
Yeah.
It just, it just does not make, I mean, I get the economic part of it, but why the Big Ten wouldn't say, yeah, we just want the best teams in the playoffs. We're all going to benefit from this, and we trust that our conference. I mean, if you look at the rankings right now, first of all, Big Ten's won the last 2 national titles, Michigan and Ohio State. I think when you look at the preseason rankings, and I get it, it's preseason, not all that that meaningful ultimately, but preseason rankings, Ohio State, clear national title contender. Penn State, clear national title contender. Both consensus top 5. Both will be in any preseason top 5. Oregon is a pretty consensus number 6. Like there's kind of 6 teams out there, and Oregon is pretty consistently listed as that 6th team that could work its way into the national title picture. You have Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Penn State as clear-cut teams. And who am I missing there?
Bama, Texas, Michigan.
No, Texas,
Georgia,
Ohio State, Georgia, Penn State,
LSU,
and
yeah, they're all. It's
Clemson is the other team that's getting consensus top 5.
I got a question real quick.
Is primarily because of Klubnik, but
this year is the same scenario as last year, or are they changing it this season coming up?
Well, that was the discussion,
and
it looks like it's staying the same.
Okay, so that's the bye weeks for the. No, that's I didn't like how they did that though.
With the exception being that they're going to rank the teams just. You're not going to get the conference champions.
Okay, so the top four ranked are getting buys.
Correct.
I got you. And I like that.
So the but if you look at the Big Ten right now, so Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon are almost presumptive to playoff teams. And again, we've got to see how the season plays out, injuries and all of that plays in. But if you look at Nebraska's schedule, Chris Buganani and I talked about this a little bit last week, the schedule sets up extremely favorably for Nebraska. Nebraska was lost a lot of one-score games last year. If you're, I think most experts, if you're penciling the team that could have the big turnaround or be the quote-unquote surprise, even though I don't know how much of a surprise you could be if everybody's picking you to be the surprise. But Nebraska is a team a lot of people are like, yeah, they could sneak in there and be a playoff team by the time this season ends from the Big Ten. If it's not Nebraska, Iowa's a team that could, I think, when you look at it, possibly get into that mix. Indiana is going to be an interesting team to watch this year. I think
very interesting.
Most folks are expecting and presuming they'll drop off a little bit. Michigan is a fascinating watch in the upcoming season. Can they get back and be a playoff team? Where do they kind of start to settle in here in the Big Ten? I think USC in the Big Ten is a fascinating storyline with Lincoln Riley, and can they make that vault back into contender status and possibly be a playoff team? Washington is a team that I think a lot of folks are looking at as, if not this year, next year, can they get back into that playoff mix as well? So I think you have a lot of teams that could, but you feel like you have 3 like almost guaranteed. And if those 3 have the seasons that most are expecting, I think it is very likely that a 4th Big Ten team then, just because of the strength of the conference, whoever the 4th team is in the standings, is a very strong candidate at the very least to be a playoff team. I think, SEC has a lot of fascinating storylines for sure as well. I think, to me, they go into the season with less assurance of having 4 teams into the playoffs, but I think almost guaranteed that they would have at least 3 into the playoffs in the upcoming season. And it just is, let's start with, I think eventually, and I think it's going to be sooner rather than later, we go to a 16-team format, and that's where the questions are as to, all right, what is the best way to set that up? And I guess best way to set that up, how do you look, what are you defining as best? Is it the most fair? Is it the one that will create the most interest, create the most viewership, and generate the most money? Is it a combination of those? All of those things. One of the things that I still think we're waiting to see how it plays out is who all stays in quote unquote big time college football. I was listening to Jed Donahue, I think it was last week, and I'm forgetting the guest he had on, but he's like, yeah, the MAC is done. Like, in terms of being Division I football, they are not investing.
That's the one I worried about.
In the programs you would need to maintain big time, and again, we can argue whether or not they're big time right
a minor league
right
for the
now.
Big time.
So the other part of the equation, one of the other parts of the equation is, do the big time programs continue to play some of these smaller schools, even if they opt out, the smaller schools I'm talking about, of big time Division I football, and whatever the parameters are that are put in place and how that plays out. And I think that's also going to be fascinating to watch here as well, is can be put in play lower divisions of college football. Yep.
It makes me think now. Remember JMU about 4 years ago joined the Division I?
Yep.
And they had to almost miss the playoff because they had to take a year off from. They were not playoff eligible.
Yes.
Villanova's doing the same thing. Delaware is doing the same thing right now.
Yeah.
We have known what's been going on this future over the last 3 or 4 years. Why are they burrowing towards that? Why are they? You know what I mean? They're just burrowing towards being another a MAC school, like we said. They're just a feeder school for bigger programs. They can't compete financially with what's going on right now. Why would they even continue to try to go to Division I level? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they think that they can get there. I don't know. I don't know enough about the. Maybe they're thinking, we can come in with our
JMU
big money donors.
They did a very good job.
Yep, we can get to a point where we can sustain and compete at the highest levels. I don't know. Again, how all of this plays out is still just.
So what did the guy say about the MAC? What was he saying? It's dead. It's dead man in water because of they can't.
Oh, they're not. They're not investing. Yeah, they're not going.
Well,
they will not.
We
invest.
knew that. We said that they were. There's going to be a guy I'm sitting there, and I use this analogy maybe too much, and I say Jeff Hardy's. Jeff was maybe a 2-star recruit. We didn't have stars back then, but he was the lowest recruit of our class. Jeff Hardy's.
Yeah.
2-time All-American, 3-time All-Big Ten. But there's a guy who would not get a shot in this day and age. He would have to go to a MAC school, prove he could play, and then bump up because I think that those guys are not going to get shots anymore. You can't miss, man. There's a lot of money invested in now. It's what I've been saying for 3 years now. Do you invest more money in recruiting, or do you invest all your money into the transfer portal? You have a guy out there, 2-year starter at Penn State doing really, really well. Let's go after that guy rather, or you want to go after a 3-star kid at a Harrisburg high school who you don't know may not work out. I mean, I think that the easier and better option is to go with the transfer route, and that's where we're at right now.
I think every program you got to figure out what's best for your program, your culture. I think all top programs you have to be investing in both. Like, it's not an either or, it's a both. Now, the degree to which Clemson is, was trying to go all in with just in-house high school recruits and ignore the transfer portal. That's a next to impossible way to be competitive. Colorado and Deion Sanders has kind of gone the other extreme, where it's just we're going to go bring in the best players from anywhere we can find them each year. I think that also is really tough to build sustainable success. But again, can you do it? I think doing it with a combination, but I think that the formula isn't necessarily why you have to, generally speaking, go 80% high school recruits and 20% transfer portal. I think you can mix and match, and depending on your program and what you have available, resource-wise, what the your school looks like. And again, all of this stuff may continue to change as you move forward. And it's a lot like professional sports, because that's what it is now. And there are different philosophies when it comes to professional sports. There are teams that largely try to draft and build up from within. And yes, again, nobody says, well, we never supplement, we don't bring in any free agent. Well, no, of course you do. And you look at trades and all of that. But others are like, yeah, we are going to focus on trades and free agents. That's our MO.
NFL teams go out and spend the most money on these top free agents, and they don't pan out because they get paid and they back away. They're done. And I think, to go back to my point of what I said earlier about, how much do you recruit? You could tell pretty safe to say 85% a wide receiver when you're looking at him, watching him run around and stuff like that. Offensive and defensive linemen, because you don't know because of the size. Like I have talked about this repeatedly over the years, and there's a guy my size. I was bigger, faster, and stronger than every kid I played against in high school. How would I match up when guys were my size, my strength, and my speed?
Right.
That's a huge thing. Where running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and like skill players, you can get a feel for that at a younger age. Where I think that I personally would pull back my recruiting of offensive linemen unless it's like a top 4 or 5 star guy, and really hit the transfer portal that way. But not for every position. Certain positions, I think you can hit the transfer portal harder.
Yeah,
that's just because, again, I've seen so many guys wash out as an offensive lineman or defensive lineman because they didn't know how to play the game, because they were just like so much bigger, stronger, and faster than the kids they were playing against.
Yeah,
these small town kids, imagine being in a 1A school. What am I learning? How am I learning to play football? How am I going to correlate? How does Penn State know that I'm going to correlate that to that, other than seeing that I'm 6'8", 285 pounds? That's the correlation. They can't see what's in here. They can't see what's in there, and that's a lot to do with what football is, or especially offensive line play.
Well, and even once you get to a college weight room, like how what does the what does that what is your potential for good growth in terms of muscle mass and all of that? And there's a lot that goes into that
nowadays, man, because it did not come into play when you were in my era, because we didn't have that. Your high school weightlifting programs back in the day, I feel like I say this all the time, we didn't have it. If you had one teacher or one coach who was like, "Hey, you guys got to get bigger, stronger, I'll open a weight room for you," that's a great coach. But now it's like expected. I talked to I'm away this past weekend, and my family's coming to town, in-laws, families coming to town. Everybody's talking about they have high school practice. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about practice? And they're having, shield, just tops running around in the field throughout the summer and stuff like that. And I was like, that was unheard of.
Yeah.
Completely unheard of. They started with 7-on-7 camps when I was in high school, I think. But that was just like the local Philadelphia teams playing. Now it's national thing, Olympic sports. Everything is so different. And now that you think about it, how much all right, I have an analogy for you. And this was about 5 years ago. I had a buddy from, I believe he was from Oklahoma. And he says, dude, these kids from Texas, these football players in Texas are so well maintained and coached throughout high school that the level from high school, the improvement from high school to college for me was like this. For a Texas kid who has been bred to play football, lifting, running, doing all of this stuff for his whole high school career, he might be maxed out at how good of a football player he could be. That's got to come into play nowadays. Like, oh, well, he's been starting 4 years at Texas high school. His shoulders might be done. He might be, might have this or might have that, or he's just beat up, or that's as good as he's going to be, Coach. That is as good as he is as good as he's going to be right now. Where you get some raw kids from, around the country where football isn't God like it is in Texas, and there's a lot of room for growth for those guys.
Right.
And that's where you catch on to you really hit home runs with those type of guys. Jeff Harding's being one. Jeff was, I'm telling you, he may have been a 2-star. And he was of the 5 or 6 offensive linemen recruited in our class.
It's just
he
wild.
was easily the farthest, and the guy who never played was the top one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's been a number. I mean, Shane Conlin was not exactly
right.
the guy everybody was coveting.
And I love how he got his valley.
And yes, and obviously
he turned out all right.
History will reflect that. That was a pretty good get for the Nittany Lions. All right, we'll take a break here. Come back. I'll talk a little bit more about the college football playoffs and kind of how I would like to see this thing go. But one of the struggles in trying to set up what you want to see happen is that landscape keeps changing. And like, I don't think we're done. Like if I felt solid that, all right, the conferences that we now have are the conferences that we'll have in 10 years, and this is what we're projecting for. I don't think that's the case at all. Now, exactly how it all shakes out and who ends up where, and again, the number of schools that opt for big-time football, do the non-big-time football schools still get to play here and there just for the payday and all of that? Or is it, nope, you're either in or you're out? And I think part of that needs to be determined by a commissioner's office or some sort of a centralized office. And we'll pick up that discussion on the other side of this time out. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
No one likes making trips to the gas station. Well, Lion Country Kia can help. If you're tired of going to the gas station all the time, Lion Country Kia can help with the 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid. Save now with 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months. And get $500 Kia Finance bonus cash. There's 14 available that get 38 MPG combined. Say goodbye to all those pump visits. 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrids start at just $32,285. And be sure to check out the full Kia lineup too. And their selection of certified pre-owned Kias. Remember, every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ease that pain at the pump with a 38 MPG combined 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid from Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drivable Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
The State College College Spikes open up the second half of the MLB Draft League season with a trio of games from Wednesday, July 16th through Friday the 18th. The West Virginia Black Bears are the opposition, and all three games start at 6:35 p.m. Enjoy Glizzy and Wine Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, followed by fireworks presented by Penn State Health after Star Wars Night at the Ballpark Friday, July 18th. For tickets, call 814-272-1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio. Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox. State College. The Goon and Ironhead.
And we are back on a Tuesday afternoon here at Quaker Steak and Lube. It is the Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox, and talking some college football playoffs. You know, when I was in high school, Goon, we had the college football playoff scenario that we wanted to write up, and I was a proponent. And I would not be a proponent of it now, but I wanted a 16-team playoff with 11 players who, or 11, there were 11 conferences, 11 conference champions, and then just the next best 5 teams. And I wanted it that way because, again, college football is the only sport I'm aware of where before the season starts, again, about half of the teams out there know that it doesn't matter what they do, they will not win the championship. We lost your. Oh, yeah. So we are in the now with the part of it is you got to see what conferences stay in.
You've taught
Division
me
I football.
4 years ago. You said to me, there are half the schools, and I was like, that's bull, that's bull, that's bull, that's bull. There's no way. Every team has a chance to win the national title. And you said, do you really think that they do? And I said, on paper, they do. Take a Cincinnati. On paper, they have a chance. Correct? And the MAC schools, they have a chance. But 99.9% of the time, that half of the schools that play Division I football are going to be gone in the first. They have no shot at winning the national title.
Yeah, and now
probably down to 15 teams now who even have a chance.
Well, and so this is one of the things that I think is just going to be worth watching. And we've talked about this a little bit before, but across the board in college sports, again, I'm expecting most sports are going to drop substantially the number of programs that have big time lacrosse, wrestling, gymnastics, water polo, whatever it is. And even within that, though, like I don't think you're going to have more than 5 or 6 teams perennially contending for national titles. Now, could you have a program sneak in here and there where, all right, this is a year where we got 4 or 5 guys to stick around and it's all coming together? Yes, that can happen. But I think, generally speaking, you're going to see now, to a large degree, that is already what has happened in college sports. And again, part of it is good coaches, good programs. That's where good players want to go. And so it's like, well, that makes a lot of sense. That's why Alabama football was so good for so long. Why Penn State wrestling is rolling right now. Why Oklahoma State wrestling has rolled previously and is probably on the cusp of doing some very good things. Johns Hopkins and Syracuse with the lacrosse. There's every sport. It's like you can name a handful of schools, and more often than not, they're there. I think that gap is going to continue to widen, though, because where those sports are big, they're going to remain big, and people are going to invest in those programs to keep them at the top or contending for top honors. And I think as other programs look at it, it's like, well, we're not going to compete at that level. And so my question, though, is, are you going to have enough schools say that, yeah, we'll still compete because the money is worth it on the back end? And so we're okay knowing that we're likely never going to win a national title, or, maybe we catch lightning in a bottle once every couple of decades. I don't know.
Yeah. I also think it's what conference you're in already.
Well,
so you got a Maryland and a Rutgers and a Northwestern who are going to say, yeah, we're gonna tough it out here. We'll play. We'll go in because of all the money at the end of the year.
Right.
So
yeah, because it's still benefiting their
that's
programs.
An easy answer for them. Now, it's a team like if the ACC collapses or Oregon State that did not get into a conference and had to create the new Pac-12 and that type of thing, and then where they don't have that money coming in, those are the schools. Like I don't know why I always think about it, but Missouri, it's like one of those cusp schools. It's like they're like right there to being like they could make a run. They have made a run in the past, and they're tough. They're competitive. They seem to beat somebody every year, but are they really a dominant team?
Right.
But they're in the SEC, so they're already in. They're already getting paid. So SMU, Boise State, teams that we played last year. I mean, they're the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people who really have to make decisions. And, I have talked about, do some teams drop out? Do you ask other teams to leave conferences? And I have never even heard that one time. I mean, imagine the lawsuits. Yeah. I mean, just think of the lawsuit. If we told Maryland and Rutgers, hey, beat it, you're out. Imagine the lawsuits the Big Ten would have to face then. It would be astronomical. So, I mean, geez. I guess I have to say it, right? I would not want Pat Kraft or James Franklin's job.
Well, they had the suit that was filed in the at least I think for the upcoming season. The NCAA has said like the junior college years do not count now against your
crazy
4 years of college eligibility. There is a pending lawsuit out there asking for all athletes to be given 5 years of eligibility, which, again, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the courts interpret this stuff. What do
you mean 5 years?
5 years of eligibility.
And that's
so right now they have 4 years of eligibility. This would give them a fifth year.
Come on,
and the thing is, we're already halfway down that path. Yeah. You can redshirt playing a third of the games in I think most, if not all, sports now. So what at the end of the day, what really is the difference if you play in a handful more games over the course of your career.
What Jeff just said about the 7 games, and that is that you could play in 4 regular season games, and it doesn't matter which 4. It doesn't matter which 4. So that's even crazier to me. It's like, you can pick and choose and say, okay, we want to play this guy. It's like a hockey line. Who are we scratching tonight? Who do we need out there? So you can play 4 games throughout the season and all the postseason games, including the Big Ten title games. Big Ten title, 3 playoff games, national title, that's 5 more games.
And retain 4 years of eligibility.
Still are a red shirt.
Yeah, so the question is, part of the question is, does it really make a big difference if you allow that player now to play another 6 or 7 games?
Jeff, honest to God, has a court system or the NCAA in the last 10 years told any athlete no? To anything that comes up that benefits the athletes, they just say, yes, we'll do that. It's not going to it can't keep going like that. You understand what I mean? I'm not saying like individual cases, but it's always like everything is beneficial. Somebody asked me this past weekend, and somebody said about how much money the teams are making now. And then somebody said to me in the background, they're like, just imagine how much money they were making when they didn't have to pay you guys. They didn't have to do any of that. And I was like, holy crap. What were they making back in the day? Like, honest to God. I mean, I came up again yesterday when I saw the Tampa Bay Blu-ray or Tampa Bay Rays are up. Blu-rays. Tampa Bay Rays are up for sale, and they're going to get sold for $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
What are they making in baseball that somebody would say, oh my God, I got to get in on that? And that's a bad team, a bad program, a bad facility. $1.7 billion. What are they making? God bless.
Yeah, the money that's involved, and again, moving down the pike, between the streaming options and the luxury boxes and all of the different money revenue producing opportunities, at some point, does some of the stuff start to dry up, or are we on a path where nope, it just keeps rising and rising?
LA Lakers sold for $10 billion. When is that owner who has $10 billion worth of team right now? When is that going to be like, okay, now I'm making money now?
Right.
Like, when does that stop? When does that roller coaster end? My God.
Well, and we are still a sports crazed society, but is there a time where that changes? I mean, you keep reading people say, "All right, I've had it with college sports," and then the numbers keep going up one year to the next because we love it, and so I don't know that really it changes for sure. Horace checked in with us last week. He's like, I think my love is going to change or has changed. I forget what he said, and it kind of for me is like, well, it has changed, but it's still a love affair, and when we still love the games. Those of us that are sports fans, and more of us than not are sports fans of one sport or another. It's the competition. It's loving watching. All right, what can these guys do? What can my team do? What can my guys do against these outstanding opponents? Or what accomplishments can they rack up? There's still a fascination with that. And I think as long as the competition is good, and I think that's one of the things that they'll need to figure out moving down the road is with the money that is involved. I do think they'll need a commissioner's office or some sort of a centralized office, and I think the scheduling will have to be done there. Take that out of the hands of the teams and the athletic directors, and get some semblance of a balanced schedule in place, so that you're getting some sort of a better comparison of what these teams have accomplished over the course of the season. It's really hard when you have one team, like Penn State this year, with that non-conference schedule. They get 3 big wins. How am I to fairly assess that versus, if LSU gets beaten by 3 touchdowns by Clemson? Well, am I good? I can't pretend I didn't see that, but I also, how in the world do you compare that with 3 games that were cupcakes? And the answer is you don't. I mean, you can try to whatever degree. So I think there needs to be some sort of centralized scheduling where, all right, we're going to have crossover games
the
here.
Go away.
Well,
like we're saying, we said 20 minutes.
But
ago,
will they go away?
That's
my
goes
question.
Away, there goes the Big Ten feeder schools for their first 3 non-conference games. And all we're doing is funding their MAC programs.
Yeah.
By playing those, they have 3 Big Ten games, and they start playing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights.
Yeah.
That's how they're surviving. I mean, how can they survive anymore?
Right. Or do they continue to schedule those games? But hey, you guys schedule 1 or 2 games on your own, and this is the rest of the schedule that we'll set for.
Do you ever think we'll get into cross conference play? Like, you got to play a Big Ten, an SEC, and an ACC.
I think it'll be scheduled for you. Yes.
When that happens, losing a game or 2 or 3, it's not that bad.
Correct.
If they're all playing the same schedule, like if somebody has a loaded out of conference schedule,
then you have a comparable schedule. Yeah,
yes.
Right. You have comparable schedules to compare at the end of the year. All right, we'll take a break here. Talk with Mike Motti when we return. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube on Sports Radio 98.7.
No one likes making trips to the gas station. Well, Lion Country Kia can help. If you're tired of going to the gas station all the time, Lion Country Kia can help with the 2025 Kia 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months. And get $500 Kia Finance bonus cash. There's 14 available that get 38 MPG combined. Say goodbye to all those pump visits. 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrids start at just $32,285. And be sure to check out the full Kia lineup too. And their selection of certified pre-owned Kia. Comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ease that pain at the pump with a 38 MPG combined 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid from Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drivable Street off Shiloh Road, behind Sam's Club, State College.
Use a limited powertrain warranty.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food. Get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hits and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. He's looking to reward more full-time fans, because football isn't really football without you.
The State College Spikes open up the second half of the MLB Draft League season with a trio of games from Wednesday, July 16th through Friday the 18th. The West Virginia Black Bears are the opposition, and all 3 games start at 6:35 p.m. Enjoy Thursday, followed by fireworks presented by Penn State Health after Star Wars Night at the Ballpark Friday, July 18th. For tickets, call 814-272-1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
A lot has changed that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here we're not just neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources, because of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox,
your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7. The Fox State College. The Goon and Ironhead.
And trying to squeeze everybody in is not easy on this screen with this camera and these big heads. But Mike Motti, kind enough to join us here at Quaker Steak and Lube on the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. The all-you-can-eat wing buffet, by the way, gets underway right as we go off the air at 4 o'clock. You can come on down and enjoy some great wings, and they don't cheat you here. It's the wings that they serve all week long, which are the nice, big, meaty, juicy wings with all of the great sauces. You can come on down and enjoy to your heart's content. Best service in town, great beverages, and of course, tonight you can watch the All-Star game here as well. Always great sports on all of the TVs here at Quaker Steak and Lube. Mike Motti, thanks for joining us. Good to see you.
It's all you can eat wing night. I wasn't going to miss this.
I'm telling you, hard to beat that.
You allowed to with your inside stuff?
I usually keep it clean. I don't do any spices usually.
Yeah.
Since then, but yeah, since I had my colon removed, so that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole other show, but it helped you though.
Yeah, it's what
you
it
were
was
necessary. You were
necessary.
It was bad for a while there.
Yeah, dealing with ulcerative colitis. So while I was playing with my career, it was that was yeah. So the fact that I could even eat some wings when I want to is a blessing.
Yeah,
grateful.
For folks that don't know, Mike, let's just start. Catch us up with what you're doing and what's happening with your life these days.
These days, I'm living back in Brown State College, back in the university system, back in the Nittany Lion Club, and helping align resources for this athletic department. The run we're on right now has been hot, man. It's been a hell of a year. It's like we just finished the best year ever for development and so many things and too many championships and guys get drafted and athletes, men and women across the board. It's just one hell of a year for Penn State athletics. So kind of put two of those together.
I'm curious just your perspective because again, one of the things that I keep saying is you cannot like it, what transfer portal, NIL, all of this, but if you're going to compete at the highest level, you better be willing to embrace it. And again, it's the world we're living in, and either if you want to compete at the highest level, either you're in on it or you're not. Just your perspective, because I think Penn State felt like was pretty significantly behind there at the start of all of this, and it feels like they're at least on competitive footing here across the board. And football and basketball obviously understandably gets all the headlines, but I think when you look at the success of the Rams and some of the getting a Gavin McKenna to come here, real things that are happening, and clearly Penn State has made the investment it needs to get on a competitive footing.
You're still on national television and you're playing on a huge stage, so you get, as far as recruiting, it's you get a very, very similar package. As it relates to dollars and cents, obviously, like you can play that game competitively as long as you're in that ballpark. I mean, you still got a unique package here at State College, and on national television. I mean, that's where you get where you can really bring in anybody. So.
What is amazing right now, and we were talking about it, athletic years in Penn State history when you look at the accomplishments of the various programs, but the potential for next year to be even better. I mean, the hockey team to me is a clear-cut favorite, like no question. They are the favorite
They're
to
the
win the
Vegas
national
favorite already.
title.
Are they already?
Oh, yeah. Well, they were the favorite before McKenna signed.
Yeah, well, they ain't gotten stuff before McKenna. Yeah.
That I think was one of the great stories, one of the great team stories. Like when you talk about when you listen to the guy talk about that hockey team, like the way that they flipped the script on an like an 8-game.
Oh yeah.
Like
he was on our Monday night show and he was like, "Hey man, this is what we got to do."
Like that was
incredible. We got
incredible.
to pull through this. He's like, "We're on an 8-game losing streak." He's
Fellas, what do you want to do? And they're like, "We're going to stay positive. We're going to just play the next play." And they just freaking they flipped the whole script and went further than it and any team in Penn State history's ever gone. Only now we're going to just go get the number one guy to parlay that and like, let's go get the number one dog and keep the show together.
Well, the NIL the NIL has changed hockey as we know it now.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
now it's not. It's now these guys. There's no reason to go to junior hockey. Go to college, get paid.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, go to the history of the NHL
and just plug and play.
The historic guys going into the junior hockey, going away. Sidney Crosby being 15 years old, till Eric Lindros, Mario Lemieux, leaving home at 15 and going to live in somebody's home and being a junior hockey guy for 3 years. Those days are over because these guys cannot go to college and get paid $700,000 for a football season.
Right. What's he got to lose in career-wise? He's still going to play on national television.
And I also noticed this last year, and I asked Guy about it because Guy comes on the show a lot, and that is that Guy is not going to wear these NHL guys out. He had the goalie this year who was with the Calgary Flames. He didn't play him 999% of the games. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, he's got a future ahead of him, and we don't need him down. Get him down there, play some big games, get out there, do all this, and they probably love the way that Guy handled the future, first round, second round picks of these are properties of the NHL teams. So you're going to start seeing more guys coming here for that reason who are actually already picked in the NHL. Come here, make some money before they can go to the NHL.
Right.
It's great.
It's still playing at a high level on a big stage in a unique environment. That ice rink is still
that's never happened.
Yeah, five, but yeah, yeah, and 2 in the first 10 rounds, which is only I think the second time that's happened in school history, and that's the thing. Again, hockey is going to be favored. Penn State football, obviously one of the strong preseason contenders for the national title. Women's volleyball is going to be a perennial contender again. Wrestling is what it is. But you start looking, men's lacrosse is on the cusp of where hockey is and being able to be the team. I think women's lacrosse is going to be very quickly coming there.
Yeah, we just picked up the best player of I think of all time.
Yeah, and Trainer is just she's quickly putting together a staff that I think will have them pretty immediately in national title contention. And you look at the baseball and softball programs, which have some inherited disadvantages, just the Northeast, Big Ten, weather-wise, and all of that. But both of those programs are again on the cusp of going to heights that Penn State baseball and softball have not been. So it is exciting. Now, obviously, the women's soccer program is a perennial contender.
Men's gymnastics, volleyball.
Yep, and I think men's soccer is going to get there again in pretty short order here as well. And then you have both basketball programs. I think Mike Rhodes is going to get this thing going in a big way with the basketball program as well.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. It's time on task for him. Basketball is a unique set of challenges in the environment that it is. Just because one guy make or break you, and great for Yana getting the first time ever happened to.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
draft pick,
unbelievable.
Right? But now we got to reload and put a roster back together. So great staff together. Taylor Bradley's back in the house.
Yeah.
So great. I'm a believer in Coach Rhodes. I am. So.
Do you feel the momentum when you're out meeting with folks, the excitement again around obviously Penn State football, but around the athletic program? Is it palpable when you're out there that people are excited about? Man, this is a cool era just for Penn State athletics.
Totally cool. It's the proof's in the product, right? And then the proof's also in the vision, and then validating that vision with progress, and to see success along the way is and to stack wins while we're doing it. I think that's It's a huge part of the process. And like, as everyone, no one's ever content, but I mean, the big vision is like, you get this 2027 big monster Coliseum that they're building up at Beaver Stadium. That's like the timeline that everyone's working on, but we're not skipping a beat along the way, and that's really cool to see. And credit to all the staff that's believed in the Packers vision, and then Neely the whole show. Are we going to break some eggs along the way? Sure, but to see success while it happens is also pretty cool, and great to be a part of, just to have a role in the whole dance.
We were talking off the air about how Mike has a love for lacrosse here. I mean, I don't think everybody out there really knows that your dad, he was a savage lacrosse player here, and that's why he was here
initially,
and then played football.
Yeah, the story goes that Joe called him to one of Joe's assistants was at Nassau Community College where my dad was, and said, "You got anybody that can catch the ball?" He said, "Yeah, this kid Ricky Motti." And sure enough, my dad gets a call from Coach Paterno, and then he said, "Yeah, I'll come to Penn State, but can I got to be able to play lacrosse?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, kid, come on, man, whatever, yeah, okay, yeah." So he gets here, and then I think they had to practice at there was 3 or 4 guys, Caravella, some other guys, but Buddy Tesner was another one, Ray Tesner, and then 3 or 4 other guys. But basically, it was like Long Island guys that came here. They played football and lacrosse.
The only place they played lacrosse was Long Island and Baltimore.
Right, at the time. And they used to pack the house to like 10, 12,000 people watching the games. But they practiced at like 9:30 in the evening because Joe would practice. So like the 4 guys on their team, there was half the team.
Wow.
They had to move lacrosse practice in the evening, so they would go right from football to down to lacrosse practice, which is just insane to me. But yeah, I got a unique love for that. I never grew up with a stick in my hand. We didn't have lacrosse in South Louisiana, but I understood and appreciated the sport, and just through respect and these old wooden sticks in my garage that we would play with, and leather. Now they got these aluminum sticks that can whip it.
How many stitches did your brother give you? Because I know that's what happens.
Yep. A few.
Yep.
Got a few.
No doubt about it.
A few bumps and bruises.
No,
for sure.
Doubt about it.
Yep. But we're close on the lacrosse side too. Like, we just didn't have we had our opportunities in that. That was the Cornell game, but they just had a little more horsepower and got it done. So
we'll be there. And then you mentioned Pat earlier, and we're obviously huge fans of Pat. And I believe that Pat's vision is, okay, let's do this again next
year. Yeah.
It's not like, okay, well, that was a great year, guys. We're good. No, it's like, how are we getting back here next year? And how are we going to win every national title? Because that's what he wants to talk about.
Right.
That's the kind of person I want leading my program. It's the kind of guy we have leading our program. Absolutely love it. Love his attitude in everything, every sport. I mean, you watch him, a guy, it's pretty well known a guy is not a real rah type of rah. I mean, he's not going to sit there and pound the ball like Joe wasn't. Some crazy maniac was locked in the closet of the men's locker room of the hockey room, and Pat Kraft comes running out and starts chest bumping everybody, body checking everybody, getting everybody all wound up. And they come on, and I believe they didn't know that the student section was coming down to the Final Four weekend in Allentown. To the opening weekend, and they went out on the ice and they were like, "Oh my God, this is a home game out here!" And they were like sky high, rocking and rolling, pretty cool stuff. And then how Pat and Guy treated the roar section, they call it. They introduced all the seniors on their last night, the last home game too. I was like, dude, that goes so far with these students and stuff like that. It's not just the athletic directors, it's not just the kids, but it's the people we got leading right now. It's like, it's a pretty damn good group of people out there, and you get to work with them most of the days. And you're out there talking to the Joe Schmo, kissing butt, trying to get some money for these kids and all that. So, you hear a lot of this stuff, a lot of what people gripe about, or they what can you get me in this and that. But it just seems like it's going so well right now. Your job's got to be a little bit easier.
It does make it a little bit easier to see success and proof along the way. Yeah. To validate the plan, the vision. For sure, but we still got a long way to go. Everyone's kind of retooling, got taken to summer right now to just rearm and retool to make sure we can, because the last year was a long season football wise. I mean, we get into freaking December and it's like, all right, we get the chance to play 4 more games, 6 more games. So I remember sitting here, in November, like, man, what team is built to play 17 games? Like, what roster?
Yeah.
So like there's the best rosters, and then there's the rosters that maintain their health and stability throughout the season. And like those are 2 different things completely, as you see like in the NFL.
Think about that.
Like
you played for the old man as well as I did. And that guy was unbelievable with watching and worrying about people, where your legs at, where are your legs at, where are your legs at. If you don't know, you might have a 17-game season.
Right.
And that comes into play in August when you're beating the tar out of these guys. If you're going to have a real hard summer practices and preseason camp, you want to see how tough you guys are, and this and the way he used to. We would make it. We
no way.
Teams would burn out.
Oh yeah,
it's unbelievable. Had like, jeez.
You wouldn't catch your legs.
It's a different game anymore.
Yeah. Right. And I mean that's why I think you're gonna. I mean I'm not in charge of governance by any means, but I think you'll see probably lesser emphasis on the spring games now.
Sure.
Just because
we did see
the toll. I mean, that's weird. I'm not like revealing anything. It's like, yeah, it's gonna just look at the NFL model. OTA phase 1, 2, 3 as you're leading up. Like, in the mini camps, I think you'll see more of that style. Just because that's proven to work, and that it's a more mature business, and you're taking care of guys' legs. I mean, I think going and you're showcasing guys in the portal. Like, you got to have at least like I think you got to reduce the yearly calendar down to one window, and then like there's all the kind of things that people understand and that are in charge of the governance of this thing that make a lot of sense and make common sense and are good for the game that are going to happen. And you hope to see the changes happen in a swift way. Because
I have an idea for what we could do, because the football game is pointless.
Right.
I won't say it on the air. It'll be stolen. I have to be stolen. So
who are the correct people?
Me and my drunken friends, So they say, oh, I'm a genius. I'm so smart. But,
yeah.
I mean, the game has never meant anything. Ever. So it's like, if that goes away, it goes away. But it's just it's more of for the fans to come back. One of the family reunions that James talks about. And that's what it is. It's just a good time. We always say the winter's broken and spring is here. Go to a spring football game, tailgate the outside a little bit. Even though it rains or snows every year, but it's still fun.
Right.
There's stuff we could do on the outside instead of playing football.
There's like a spring sports
fun.
Showcase, something like that.
Absolutely.
More of a
everybody. It's just people just want to come up here.
Right.
It's not about the game. It's never been about the game.
Never been about the game.
Yeah. Didn't O'Brien? Didn't he?
He didn't like it. He was like, for the first time, he was
well.
Like,
and I think
he had like 12 players in it.
But I've seen it all. I've seen every. I mean, you got to. In 2009, we had like 90,000 people here for a spring game. I remember packing the whole place out.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Holy stuff. And so go from that to like Bill O'Brien, who was an NFL guy, who was like, this is stupid. We got 50 guys.
Spring practice in general.
Generally, he was like, you guys are senior starters. Like, you guys ain't hitting. Like, get out. He's like, get out. And we're like, what do you mean? This is great. We don't have to play 70 snaps.
Joe gave us that. Joe gave all us our senior years. He gave us all that little reprieve. That made a little spring a little bit easier there. But it's just a showcase. Because I mean, I know we want to get into what we want to talk about, and that's your new business here. But like, you think about it, Mike. I mean, you went through high school senior year. You played an all-star game probably. You came here as a freshman. You redshirt or did you play?
No, I played every.
You played right away.
Yep.
Then you got hurt.
And then I got hurt my sophomore year.
Okay, so then just think about the guys who like I'll take myself. I didn't play my freshman year. I redshirted. So I played a big 33 game in July of whatever 91, and I didn't play another football game. I practiced Tuesday and Wednesdays like that. I didn't play football for over a year. So that spring game, that was a big thing for me, and from guys coming out. But then after your first or second year, you're like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Spring football in general, because I've always said that the coaches don't really care if you get hurt, if they're not worried about your legs. And in preseason, they're worried about your legs. Like, you got to be ready to play that opening game and play the whole game and without being tired. And Joe was a genius at that, but he didn't follow those rules in the spring. He wanted to see who was tough and most likely run some guys out of there who weren't tough or who weren't going to play.
That's true.
Everything's changing, man.
Yep, that's true. Better embrace it.
You want to hit a break before we jump onto a
let's do that. We'll hit a break here. I have just one follow-up question there, and then we'll get into the new product that Mike is actually here to talk about, and we'll continue. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
No one likes making trips to the gas station. Well, Lion Country Kia can help. If you're tired of going to the gas station, help with the 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid. Save now with 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months. And get $500 Kia Finance bonus cash. There's 14 available that get 38 MPG combined. Say goodbye to all those pump visits. 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrids start at just $32,285. Be sure to check out the full Kia lineup too, and their selection of certified pre-owned Kias. Remember your 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ease that pain at the pump with a 38 MPG combined 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid from Lion Country Kia, 1334 Dryville Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
Rings and all kinds of other tempting things. Great times, great food. Get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food. Get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. Always looking to reward more full-time fans, because football isn't really football without you.
The State College Spikes open up the second half of the MLB Draft League season with a trio of games from Wednesday, July 16th through Friday the 18th. The West Virginia Black Bears are the opposition, and all three games start at 6:35 p.m. Enjoy Glizzy and Wine Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, followed by fireworks presented by Penn State Health after Star Wars Night at the Ballpark Friday, July 18th. For tickets, call 1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Expect Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Passionate about giving back both time and resources, because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox. Your sports casting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox. State College. The Goon and Ironhead.
on a Tuesday afternoon here at Quaker Steak and Lube, as we are joined by Mike Motti on the Goon and Ironhead show, which oddly enough, for the first time in about a month, has both Goon and Ironhead on said Goon and Ironhead show. Mike, one thing with the spring game, and we've been talking about it, but one of the things that I think is really great for the community and for the programs with Pat Kraft is that willingness to, hey, let's explore different options, different things that we can do to create interest and obviously to create revenue for the programs and for the athletic department as a whole and for the student athletes. And, we touched on it there a little bit, or you touched on it with whether you do it like a spring sports weekend. I think fans want that opportunity to come back, to have that homecoming weekend. But I also think, one of the things that, like when you look at the Pro Bowl and the way that they've adapted, and now it is such a kid-friendly experience, much more so than the game was, where now you have some interaction. You can see these guys in different competitive venues. I just think there's opportunities there to make it maybe more meaningful for the fans in general, but in particular the kiddos that come up. Sure. And I think that's the thing. And I guess I'm expecting that something is going to happen along those lines with Pat Kraft and James Franklin and company putting their heads together. And I think you're going to see it with some of these other sports too, because that access and that experience of getting to know your favorite athletes. And again, for fans in general, but man, for kids, it is a huge deal. If you're a girls volleyball player and you have a chance to go meet with the national champions up close and personal, that is a big, big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to see that evolve over the years as the game changes. That fan experience built around it in the springtime. There'll be some presence there for sure.
I deal with a lot of the players in the NIL stuff and do some stuff with our guys, and people always like, oh, these guys always have their hands on and this and that. I'm like, no, they don't. Nothing's changed about these freaking kids other than they do have some money in their pockets. They still want to sign on. They're still not going to tell nobody, I don't want to give you my autograph. It's not like that.
No.
And they're like, oh, they won't do autograph sessions at the blue-white game. And it's like, no, yes, they would. They would do that. I mean, there's guys that, from back in the day, it may have been exploited back in the day, but if it's just kids,
right,
let the kids through. And that's the problem that I get into. It's like, Mike, you used to leave the locker room back in the day after a game, and you had men smacking little kids around to try and get an autograph. And it's like, yo, dude, relax, man. It's for the little kids here, and that's what it's always. That's what it's always been about. And there's definitely, I'm sure that there's stuff in the making to make it more kid friendly, more family friendly. And a better experience, and for the spring game and stuff like that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I know a good thing we could do for the spring game, and that might be a tequila drinking challenge.
There you go.
Something surrounding in the Cinco de Mayo
area. Let's put our heads together and think about this.
Tequila, you think?
Can we get some kind of tequila company that knows of any kind of Penn State relations to have some kind of Cabo Wabo in State College? I mean, we had the Hoppy Valley Brew Fest this weekend.
Oh wow!
And then when are we going to have the Tequila Fest with Mikey Motti? So
next May.
Let's bring it on, Mott's. What you got? Sell me.
I got into this tequila business on a distillery in Jalisco, which is where they make 85% of the world's tequila. You can only have it in these 5 districts in Mexico. I ended up going down there a couple years ago. And another Penn Stater was involved, and a few other partners. And I'm like, hey, let's do our own brand, and let's make it a culture brand, not like this celebrity brand. Let's make this like a community, something that we could really celebrate, and that everybody could get behind, a really high quality tequila that everyone has access to. And so we built this brand around that, and we've been running hard for about a year on it. And we had the Blanco, and we had a whole product line that we're going to roll out. This year is going to be the Blitz, the RTD can, the Whiteout Blitz, which is going to be fired up to release. That'll be about early September. And then, but the Whiteout Blancos, we sold through that
Blanco is a version of tequila.
Yep, it's anything under 60 days in a barrel.
Wow.
So
you went through all the CBD stuff, and now you're all in tequilas and stuff like that. So, wow, man.
I mean, when I get into something, I sink my teeth into it.
Yeah, you do. I mean, geez, I didn't know all that
water.
stuff. 60 days in a barrel, and I was like, well, I've done that. I mean, am I Blanco?
Anything more than that is the reposado, and you have like the gold version.
There you go.
And I guess it sits in a barrel. Obviously, longer it gets more color and all these different.
How? And you said your buddy got you involved. I mean, were you a tequila guy forever?
Well, I mean, I
guess I should say, was your health issue?
Right. I mean, I didn't drink anything with like solvents or any additives.
So tequila was one of those. Some people like. Yeah.
So I was a consumer, of course. So I'm like one data point, and then you follow that up with a lot of the research and the market data when you're making a decision on getting involved in something like that. And yeah, so of course you follow the trends. And
did it help that George Clooney sold his brand for $4 billion? I mean, was that one of the
right? Absolutely. Well, you mentioned Cabo Wabo, so yeah, their distillery down there is actually producing some of their products.
Sammy Hagar stuff.
Yeah, tens of thousands of cases from our distillery. So, and Whiteout's just one of the brands that's we're also producing from there. So, again, there's a ton of guys that have gone down there and stuck their hat in the ring. But fortunately, we've got some professionals that know what they're doing and they make some great product and that's half the battle. The other half is getting it to market, which is
this is I was just going to say that. So I would love to show you a bottle of Mikey's tequila right now.
Yeah, we're sold out.
And here's the deal: there's not a bottle in Center County right now.
Not an opportunity.
There's a few there and some homes, but in some bars probably that are burning through it because we are on special order. But yep, we'll be sold out for another couple of weeks, and then we're dropping our next run, which is be like just about 1,000 cases.
Are we just in the Center County area?
It'll be across. The idea is that through PA will be in select fine wine and good spirit stores across Pennsylvania.
In select wine and spirit stores?
Yep.
What do you mean select? If you don't mind.
Like they haven't been selected, they will be selected. Like in those stores, that's where you'll find it.
Like where I was this weekend, I'm not going to find it.
No, obviously
the big cities is where you're going to find it.
To be determined.
Yeah, so you're going to get Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg.
Correct.
You're going to get into the big field. Is it locked in, loaded up? I mean, I've seen the picture of the whole twist and tornado, not tornado, but the hurricane. Is that the whiteout? It's related to no Penn State logos on there, nothing like that.
No,
right?
The coordinates on the bottle are actually.
But that's not that's your way of using. Good for you, boy.
But we do own the whiteout tequila trademark.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't use the lion head or the blue white and stuff like we are.
No, we're working with the corporate partners to actually be the official or a proud partner and all that go through those things to be a proud partner and support the athletic program from a corporate sponsorship perspective, and that's something we plan on doing, which will be exciting. We'll release that. We'll probably announce that next month.
Very cool.
Very nice, man.
So look for that to come out. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep, Hackenberg, a couple of other guys are.
Is he involved in it? I saw him pushing it.
Yeah, he is. He has been. It's nice. We got a linebacker and we got a quarterback, which is a good. It's a good combination.
You're both pretty boys.
Well, he's a lot prettier than I am, I would say.
I always tell Shane Conlon, you wouldn't be Shane Conlon without Pete Kirkendall, Mike Russo, Bobby White, and Tim Johnson. And he's like, shut up, man. I said, dude, don't, I'm not wrong.
Absolutely.
I don't think Kerry Collins and Wally Richardson ain't Kerry Collins and Wally Richardson if it wasn't for the fat boys up front, man. I mean, we keep you guys pretty. We get it.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Got to know your role.
So honestly, how many different brands? You said we got the Blanco and
Reposado's coming out next year. Then the Añejos in barrel. But we'll do like limited editions every year. We'll come out with something new, and be innovative and try to get something that people like, but additive free and with those ties to in and around the celebration, the culture, Penn State, and the athletic communal experience that you get at a tailgate and sports and competitive. And
I wasn't lying, man. It wasn't. I mean, the more you go around downtown and you around the, see people around the country, the tequila is. It's like one of those. It's like people are like, yes,
yeah,
or they're like, no freaking way. It's like it's like that. It's like, holy crap, man. But I went through college. I don't think I ever did a tequila. Honest to God. You know what I mean? It was
really.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was. We were.
I mean, we didn't. It wasn't like a common thing.
I still love Jaeger and Black House and that type of stuff. But the tequila thing was always like a little scary. And then I remember I tried it a couple of times. I was like, damn, this ain't bad, man. I mean, we all drink margaritas,
right? Exactly.
You don't think about it, but it's like, yeah,
it's the same.
It's already in there. I mean, my clothes don't fall off when I drink margaritas.
No,
it's just the straight tequila that the clothes fall off. Gotcha.
The whole thing with the worm in the bottle, that's all like fable.
There was only one company that did that, right?
That's the whole fable. Like, that's not even
awesome,
a thing.
Though. But it was
not even I mean, maybe at one time was the thing. That's probably what the story came
Dude,
from,
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell a
anymore.
story out of school here, and it's funny because I came back from it was the summer of ’95 going into my senior year, and Marco got into a bottle of tequila after, like, he was working. It's just funny because I saw that there's like a bunch of guys on the football team who built the Bryce Jordan Center. There was a construction crew that was from Penn State football, and they were laying the rebar, and they were all just laborers and stuff like that for summer jobs. And Marco was out, and he got a bottle of tequila, and I came home from my job with the Penn State Tennis Center. By the way, your dad would appreciate that, Bubba.
I would appreciate it.
I come back from the tennis center, and Marco's like 3/4 through his bottle of tequila. I had the worm in it. Oof, God almighty! I never saw him so bad. That's as bad as I've ever seen him, bro. That is easily as bad as I've ever seen him. And I ask him now, no. I won't do that. I won't do that. He still will not do that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We had a hell of a time last year when your whole crew from the '94 gang was up here. I like this crew. If we were at the same age at the same time, like the town would have been on fire, I think, or just in rubble.
Yeah.
Just if like,
I mean,
those personalities that came together.
I showed somebody.
We just fit right in. I felt right at home, actually. That's what.
Meathead, man.
Yeah.
I tell the story to all the new players or all the old school guys that come on here, and like how deep we were. I mean, you know, Pat was on the 05 team, right?
Oh yeah, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming back for their reunions this year.
Yep.
He'll be back for that. It'll be the same thing for you guys.
Yep.
It's just funny that you guys are at that age. Like, I'm at the age right now, I'm 50, early 50s, that my guys are like, their kids are old enough that they can come up for those weekends. So, like, our experiences will be bigger and bigger now, whereas, like, the first, 10, 15, 20 years of reunions are tough because guys are living their lives and stuff like that. So,
right.
I do know that there is an 05 reunion this year.
There is. Yeah,
their first one.
Yep. There'll be a bunch of guys. That Orange Bowl team, which is just.
That was, there's a lot of teams that can say they brought Penn State back, but I would say, you guys kept it together. I will always go to my grave saying that.
Yeah.
But those guys
they
changed
brought it back.
They did.
It was, like 05. That went down the Orange Bowl and like Mike Robin, that whole crew.
I was a strength coach then.
Yeah.
So I remember I came here June 1st, and Ironhead's heard me say this 1,000 times, and that is that I came walking into the building and go see JT and Jeremy and all these guys, and you were probably up here and visiting on a weekend. Maybe you weren't even here yet. And it was just like, man, this place is it's like a morgue. It was just like everybody was just so mopey and depressed and this and that. And I said, 4 out of 5 years losing will do that to you.
Yeah.
And everybody like the coaches were feeling pressure, like they're going to get fired type of thing. And the players are like, they were ballers. I mean, they were tough kids, and they were like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. And just how that season worked out. I mean, like, dude, Isaac Smoko doesn't make that catch against Northwestern. We're losing that game. And then Derek Williams makes that big catch for the touchdown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Smoko doesn't make that 4th down conversion. That's like what that does. It's like that's what everybody's. They lose all their swagger that they had built up over the last season. We just lost to Northwestern. What the hell's going on? It's going to be the same season all over again. And then the losses are started mounting. And then I'm telling you, man, he don't make that catch. It could have been a different year. And then he made that catch, and they started winning. And I remember watching Minnesota play one week. And this is when Minnesota had the Marion Barber.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's
the
their O
truth.
line was like legit.
Legit.
And then I was like,
That
damn.
team was
And I was
legit.
like sitting there, and I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't think we might not have it this weekend. And I'm like sitting there in the back of my head, I'm like, it's freaking Minnesota. Like, come on, man. You know, and I was like, I don't know. But then they went out there and just tore them up. And it was just the momentum built throughout that whole year. And it just crescendoed. I love how they recovered after that Michigan debacle. You had to love how that team responded to that. But I will say this, that Allen Robinson and Alan Zamitis and Michael Robinson and Paul Leslie as the leaders of that team, best I've ever seen, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Puz, you've heard me, Jeff. I've said Puz didn't have to say crap. He didn't have to say anything in that locker room or on that football field because Zamitis and Robinson had it. And that's when Paul had to learn his senior year, okay, now I have to be the vocal guy. I'm not so good at this. But he got it. But those two guys, they were not going to let you lose.
Nah.
And that's just what you guys turned into.
I wanted to be like one of those guys. That's why I saw them play. I remember when I was down in what was it, for the Orange Bowl. I'm watching those guys come down the escalator. I'm like, I think I was like 14 years old. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's who I want to be like these guys.
Michael Robb's head's the size of mine, and you're like, dude, you're like 6'1", man. What's going on? You're like, dude,
like, oh, that's what like a barrel chest looks like. My Paul's just like
that was just AQ. That was Paxton looking like T-Rex with his like 13-inch arms and 90-inch chest. I mean, that's what. Yeah, see, go ahead.
But what do you see in that regard with this team this year? Because I do think one of the things I like, and it's interesting when you're talking there, Goon, because we've talked about it several times. Like, you know, one pitch goes differently, and it's like, well, that whole season or that whole series with the championship team maybe turns out different. I think Onward State did the story. I think it was last week on the one shot kind of changed the hockey season around this past year. It is interesting. One of the things I really like about this year's team is that Drew Aller, as good as he is, I think there's a chip on his shoulder because of the interception against Notre Dame and that perception, fair or not, that's out there that big game. There. Well, I think he's embracing that and like, nope, this is the year I'll show you that's all crap. But I think having a leader that is really good but has something that they feel they need to prove, I think that's a good thing to have on your roster.
Yeah, I mean across the board too. Like all those guys, you get a little taste, and you're like, almost like it works as a catalyst to then propel you into the following year, into the off season. Like keep the running backs in the rooms, keep the line. Like I think you're going to see just a whole galvanized group that's like experience. Like, hey, we know what it's like in those big time moments, in the big time games where, all right, now let's just go win them. It's like, let's just go execute and do our jobs. And that's like, I think that's how we got in this position. So they got to go improve it.
You got to have the leaders who can keep the team grounded when they need grounded, but they also, when they need pumped up. And I just think a guy like Nick Dawkins is he's just all business. I mean, he is just like, he will get in guys' faces
100%.
About doing stupid stuff and, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you need that. I was more of the weekend captain type of guy, you know what I mean? So, that was my forte there, boys.
Everybody has their role.
Absolutely. I did my role.
That is a fact.
My role was, what are we doing this weekend? You set it up. I said, I got it. We'll get it going. So that was me. I was really good.
Every team has that role. Every team needs that role.
I mean, we got about 6 minutes here, but I have always wanted to ask this question. I've interviewed you on my shows 15 times now. And I have to ask the one question is that when you walked in that locker room in 2012 in that last game and you saw all those helmets.
Oh, man.
I mean, I know. I'm got goosebumps, right? But when you walk out there and you had no idea, what was the first time you saw it and what were those feelings? And that's just the number 42 on all the football helmets of the whole team. And that was, I'm telling you, probably the biggest respect thing I think I've ever seen in football. Not just Penn State.
The first time I had seen it, I was literally walked into the locker room, and when you walk through the center, you got lockers on both sides, and
we're in the stadium locker room.
Stadium locker room.
Because you did both.
Right, that's true. But I wasn't even that day was just so many things. I'm hugging families on the way in, and all the senior moms and parents, and from all my buddies' parents. And so we walk into the locker room of the stadium, and then I don't even really notice anything. And I remember Jordan's like hits me on the shoulder. He's like, and I see the helmets, and I'm like,
and I
just kept walking, and I'm like, I just took a hard right into the shower, and I just remember folding, just like just sobbing. But one of definitely the most ultimate signs of respect from your teammates to have that.
Was the ultimate sign of
pinnacle.
respect.
So
it was amazing.
Yeah, just a great honor
on senior day. So all your family's there.
The greatest honor. Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty unbelievable. You got me goosebumps right there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the thoughts of, your senior year, you're done. Senior year, that's the last game of the year type of thing.
Yeah.
That was senior day, right? Because there was
it was.
There was another home game, another away game, excuse me.
That was it. No,
that was it, right?
No bowl game.
And there's no bowl game, all that stuff. Ultimate form of respect, and I loved it, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta
Yeah.
I'm just into the stories now. So you talk about senior days and stuff like that. And I was with a bunch of my family. My wife's father passed away this weekend. So a lot of people were just sitting around talking and stuff like that. And they were asking about like paterno and stuff like that. So people that who didn't know me, they were like relatives of my wife, and they were asking me all these questions. And they were like, because everybody in my wife's family is like, I want to meet your family because I want to know where the hell you come from, and that, And I was like, dude, I'm my mother. I am my mother, and she died in 1999. But I said, I am my mother's personality. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, okay, let's just say this. It's the 1993 football season. It's New Year's Day, 1993, 1994. We're at the Citrus Bowl. We're getting ready to play Tennessee. The hotel where we're staying, we didn't leave, so we stayed at the with the duck place. The ducks walking down the street.
Yeah.
So
I've been there. I've seen them.
We always stay there for the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
So there's a New Year's Eve party going on with my mom and dad because they're staying at the same hotel. So all the people on the Center County Travel or Center Travel or whatever, and then the football players. Joe
Blue,
used
right?
to. That's Miami.
Oh, that's Miami. That's right. Yeah.
This is actually a place in Nashville.
No, I know
it. Ducks.
Yeah.
So long story short is that there's a New Year's Eve party going on, and there's our football team. But Joe usually booked us out of the hotels to get us away, and I was sitting there, and we're getting ready to go to snack. It's 10:30 at night, and I hear my mom, Keith, Kevin. She comes walking into our snack. And you remember those days?
Yeah.
You didn't say
right.
Boo,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Joe loved my mom. My mom would just tell Joe to shut up all the time, and so we're sitting there, and it was like not snack time, but you hear Joe, Mary Conlin, get the hell out of here! You leave those guys alone. So you said your friends are hugging your mom and dad,
right?
You're hugging their moms and dads.
Yeah,
all these guys. My mom's hugging all my roommates. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And Paterno was like, we got a kid tomorrow, Mary, get the hell out of here. She said, shut the hell up, you little bastard. And you give my little son a scholarship or whatever, and you sit down. And dude, me and my little brother were just like sitting there. We're like, we're dead. I'm like sitting there. I'm like Temple, West Virginia, Pitt. Where am I going? I'm like, I'm gone. There's no way I'm coming. I'm never going to play here again. So me and my little brother are crapping our pants, and Joe's like, shut, and sits down and didn't say a word. And 98 football players go, oh, me and my little brother like this, like, oh, we're dead. We're going to get killed. We're dead. And and I came back in 05 to come back to bring it all around.
The Peabody.
And I'm sitting in the Peabody.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
I'm sitting in the meeting when they're talking about the Orange Bowl, getting preparations and stuff like that with the coaching staff and all the support staff. And Joe goes, we got to get out of the hotel because I don't want an Americano. And I'm like, I'm like in the back row. I'm like the last guy in the room. I'm like, what the hell did he just say? And I looked over at Jeremy Scott's like, did he say your mom's name? I'm like, I think he did. And he called it the Americano incident. He's like, oh, you get the guys, they send them to a different hotel the night before games. So they never have to do that again.
He brought that up in 05. In the meeting.
It's true, man.
He used to do that, man. He would bring up old incidents, and you're like, what? Like, did anyone understand that?
That is hilarious.
That's an amazing story. And he sat down, though.
He sat down, and you sit down, you little bastard. She may have called him a little racist Italian name game. And then, and you know how it was when you got called up on your senior year, and Joe would just humiliate the players on their senior day banquet. You're like, well, I'm not even going through this line because he wasn't that good. Fat kid. Yeah. But he just abused people. My mom, he took that time.
Yeah.
And he knew my mother had to walk up, and she didn't have a microphone. And he just, except for his mother, he was a good kid. And she's like, you son of a bitch. And then you know who loved when my mother used to give Joe crap? Sue.
Oh, I
Sue
believe
would look
that.
at my mom and say, give it to him, man. Give it to him. He doesn't listen to anybody. He kisses his butt too much. So
that is classic.
Yeah, buddy.
Mike, thanks for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me
Mike
on.
Motti, kind enough to
When
join
we're back
us.
with Whiteout Tequila?
Next month. That's all I got.
Is that a white bottle with the tequila? I mean, we'll get a picture online.
Whiteouttequila.com.
I liked it, man.
Check it
Looking
out.
forward to it, brother.
Yes, indeed.
The Blitz is coming out in the cans. Just
Love it.
early September.
Like a high noon, like a type of thing?
Yep.
Like an iced tea?
Yep, exactly. Like a blue
Lordy.
lemonade. It's like a Capri Sun. Yep. You're gonna
That
need
is
40 of them.
trouble with the
Man,
capital
that's-
T
that's-
for the Deer Goon.
That's got Mrs. Conlin written all over it. That doesn't have Keith Conlin written all over
Yes,
it.
Really damn
indeed.
Blitz, too.
Unless you want to see my chest.
Folks,
Thanks,
we will be
folks.
back
Thanks.
Thursday
Appreciate
with
having me,
another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube. Until then, be good and be safe.
No one likes making trips to the gas station. Well, Lion Country Kia can help. If you're tired of going to the gas station all the time, Lion Country Kia can help with the 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid. Save now with 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months. And get $500 Kia Finance bonus cash. There's 14 available that get 38 MPG combined. Say goodbye to all those pump visits. 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrids start at just $32,285. And be sure to check out the full Kia lineup too. And their selection of certified pre-owned Kias. Remember, every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ease that pain at the pump with a 38 MPG combined 2025 Kia Sportage Hybrid from Lion Country Kia, 1334 Drivable Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
The State College Spikes open up the second half of the MLB Draft League season with a trio of games from Wednesday, July 16th through Friday the 18th. The West Virginia Black Bears are the opposition, and all three games start at 6:35 p.m. Enjoy Glizzy and Wine Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, followed by fireworks presented by Penn State Health after Star Wars Night at the Ballpark Friday, July 18th. For tickets, call 814-272-1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again,
The Fox,
your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox,
State College, the Goon and Ironhead.